Hello, welcome to the Narconon Scientology Chronicles channel. My name is Lucas Catton, and I recently started this channel having been a guest on Leah Remini and Mike Rinder's podcast, the Fair Game podcast, which is their follow-up to their show Scientology in the Aftermath, which was previously on A&E. They won a couple Emmy Awards, and then now Netflix is airing it, so there's a lot of renewed interest in it. And I had shared a video thanking them for having me on as a guest and for doing what they do, and a little bit of my views on it, and got some great response. And I wanted to continue sharing a lot of those stories because what I've realized is that there's a lot more work to be done. And even though I had initially started speaking out and writing about it and appearing in different things almost a decade ago now, I guess it was 2012 when I started doing some things. Finally, and had kind of woken up and broke free in 2011. And for many years, I really didn't do much, although I was still behind the scenes, as I talked about in one of my books about, being a witness in different trials and, for cases, for plaintiffs, and, speaking to law enforcement and helping them with investigations and different things in that regard. I still realize that there's a lot more that needs to be done. There's a lot of people that still need to be freed that I care about deeply, that, even though it is shrinking, and the wonderful work that has been done from some of the earliest people who have spoken out way back in the day, and the books they've written and the exposés that they've produced and things like that, to some of the more recent ones, like Janet Reitman's book and Lawrence Wright, and then Alex Gibney and his production. And, there's less fear and apprehension as there used to be about exposing Scientology because their influence and size continues to dwindle. But unfortunately, the mandates that L. Ron Hubbard left behind, that people like David Miscavige and those in charge of Scientology must follow, does not allow them to reform. In fact, it very specifically says it doesn't. In one of the videos on this channel, you can see about Keeping Scientology Working Series 1, and how it very specifically says you cannot alter what he has written. And so the hope for many years that they would reform, it really is sort of a lost hope, in my opinion, and that they must come to a point where all of their actual criminal activity is exposed, and either they lose their religious status so that they can be prosecuted as the business that they are for those things. People who want to continue to follow that or practice those things, or they believe in Hubbard's writings or any of that, that's fine. Honestly, that's totally their business and their right to do so, as long as it's not harming other people. And that's really what this is about, is stopping the harm and abuses to other people, ripping families apart through disconnection and so many other things. So I'm going to continue to share stories on this channel specifically about Narconon and Scientology and its related entities, things that that are not attacking them as I've been accused of doing. I'm sharing truthful information and personal experiences. So that's all that is. I hope you enjoy some of the stories. Some of them might be a little bit humorous. Other ones are a little more shocking, and certainly in between, just trying to expose some of the truth. So if you find any of these helpful or useful or interesting, please feel free to share. Check back anytime. If you want to see any of my other personal videos, you can check out my personal channel, which I'll put a link on below. But I really want to dedicate most of the Narconon and Scientology stuff to this specific channel. So stay tuned, and hit me up anytime if you have any questions. You can also visit lucascatton.com if you'd like to reach out to me personally. Otherwise, you can I'll respond to most of the comments and things like that on these videos as well. So thank you again. Take care.